How's it going there, everybody? It's Mr. Zen over here bringing you guys a brand new Tower of God chapter discussion. And for today, something guys we're going to be talking about is chapter 338, folks. Hoaqin versus freaking Po-bido Gustang, one of the 10 great family leaders, folks. Oh yes, it was a short-lived fight, folks. It was the fight of the century. It was the fight of the century that it made all the other fights in the Tower of God look like nothing. And I literally mean, it made the other fights look like nothing, because I was laughing at the fact that Po-bido Gustang did not do anything at all in this chapter. He was so nonchalant. He was such high class. He just walks right in the scene. And you know this guy is he just dreads an aurora that emphasizes that he is very powerful. He is so powerful that in the chapter he was described as the only one to be able to fight against Urik Mazano on equal on terms, folks. Which goes along to say that, like, holy cow, Po-bido Gustang made short work of Hoaqin. It was interesting though. I gotta give props to Hoaqin for trying his best. But the thing is that he didn't necessarily fight Gustang himself in this chapter. The thing that really happened was Gustang told Hoaqin, you know what? You can go. You can leave. You can try to leave by all means. I'm here thinking that, like, okay, nah, man. Gustang's got something up his sleeve. No other person just says you can leave without taking all the souls. So I'm just like thinking, okay, Gustang still has probably something up his sleeve. And what we realized is the fact that Hoaqin even kind of thought so too, like maybe he's gonna attack me. So Hoaqin tries to leave the floor of death, and what happens? He gets sent right back down to the floor of death every single time. He jumps up, gets pushed back down, up and down, up and down, up and down. Hoaqin was to the point of frustration that he could not, for the love of God, had the will to leave anymore. He was just down in the Red Sea, just drifting, basically like a corpse. But the reason that he was like that is because Po-bido Gustang was explaining that because Hoaqin absorbed all the souls that were involved in the of course, the soul room, he then now it also acquires the curse that was involved with the soul themselves, which I thought that was pretty interesting, because that means that Hoaqin was basically just another vessel for the souls to basically in. He basically became the jar that was holding the souls that were in the soul room, and just the souls themselves just moved somewhere else. Which has also made another interesting point, is the fact that means that Hoaqin, because he absorbed the souls and they're part of him, he is now part of the floor of death. And it makes sense as to why Gustang was calling him, you big bug. You're just a huge bug. Because he's a huge bug because of the fact that he's trying to make a name for himself, but yet in doing so, kind of hurt himself. And the reason Gustang still calls him, and it makes sense as to why he's a bug, is because he's just a little insect trying to, eat away at something bigger than what it transcends in itself. So literally Hoaqin, in a sense, is literally nothing, and that means that's how great the distance between Gustang and Hoaqin was. That not only in terms of intelligence, but in terms of like just the aurora itself. Even though we saw Hoaqin back in previous chapters, like, oh, this guy's really tough. Oh my God, Bomb's gonna have a hard time fighting him. Gustang just still made short work of it without even trying. Just not trying. There's not even a fight itself, which made me laugh at the same time. It wasn't even technically a fight whatsoever. That's what made it very hilarious, man. And the thing too is that he did take out the souls from Hoaqin, but guess who comes? Urik Mazano comes. And what made me interested is that Urik Mazano was kind of arguing like as if he was a little child next to next to Gustang. And it makes sense because these guys are on equal terms. But the thing that the dialogue between them was not that it it shouldn't be taken lightly. Actually, people should take it very seriously. Because if you guys notice what Gustang was talking to Urik Mazano, you can't manipulate them. After a while, when you're manipulating this Shinzo, you can technically kill the whole people that are all the organisms around. As you guys saw, that Urik Mazano used a space-time dimensional transporter, and Gustang got pissed off at Woody because by you doing that you can literally hurt everybody in your vicinity. Which goes on to say, like, wow, you know, after a point, after climbing a certain amount of floors, if people acquire a stronger sense of using the Shinzo, it makes it more dangerous to use it for other people, not necessarily for, you know, for the person, but other people, because they're not on the terms of being able to control Shinzo to the point that as to how Urik Mazano and the Tengri family leaders are able to. They're not able to manipulate towards their own will to the extent that these Tengri family leaders are. And also maybe realize too at the same time was the fact that, you know, Urik Mazano was talking about Helljoy, and Gustang was just laughing at Urik Mazano at his little trivial pursuits. Of course, Gustang, you know, respected him, but it just kind of it goes along that, like, you know, wow, there's a difference between Urik Mazano and the Tengri family leaders, you know. Gustang still, like, he just not condescends, but he just doesn't have the time and energy to look at everybody like as if they're equal on him, because of course, you know, he's so strong that he like, as of how he said it, he opened his mouth so many times that he's just tired of saying it. So it's more like he just got tired of just people not listening to him. Like, he'd rather just like let them figure it out by themselves if they really want to mess with him. But the thing is that the difference between Urik Mazano seems that he's more open-minded to a lot of people. He likes to see potential in people. He's not restricted to idealistic and religion and the idealistic, you could say, policies that invoke upon the families themselves. As you see that even Urik Mazano's actual, like, his own group that he started, you could tell that Gustang kind of fears them at the same time, because, you know, they're still on equal terms as a great family leader. And it's funny because, you know, Gustang was just like, maybe I should return it. You know, I don't want, you know, your whole family after my family. So, you know, he thought about it in the future. Said, you know what, maybe I should just actually for a second just do that, which is still pretty interesting though. Damn. But we now, in this chapter, folks, we did now confirm for a fact that Bomb really is Arlene's son. That was pretty intense, because throughout the chapters we were kind of hinted, and of course with, you know, Garam Sarhad, of course she was kind of hinting and kind of told Bomb that, you know, maybe you might be it, but, you know, you should keep it just the pocket, just to be safe. But no, Gustang clearly confirmed it, that, you know, son of Arlene Grace. Holy cow, folks. Holy cow. And the thing that makes it very also interesting is the fact that Bomb is just kind of like stupid, like, what? Like, he's just kind of like a little lost child, like, oh snap, like, oh no, what am I doing here? Like, Bomb just doesn't seem like the type to be fitting in these kind of scenarios. Like, he's literally near the ranks of the Tengri family leaders. You know, he's being like ebbed out, you know, like, he's actually being seen by these very powerful people, but just Bomb just doesn't fit there. That's why, like, when I see Bomb, he just seems like the guy at the party was just like, oh, I think I'm at the wrong party. I think I should just leave. Even though he's just as popular as they are, but it just like, to me, it seems that Bomb is more or less to say that, kind of like Urik Mazano, you know, he has character, he has class to others, not just for, you know, his authority himself. That more be less to say like his other persona, Juvio and Grace. That's more or less to say that persona is more kind of like how the Tengri family leader sees themselves. That's how I kind of see Bomb kind of when he turns on that thug persona. But still, interesting, very interesting. And the thing about that made me laugh too, guys. In fact, oh my god, freaking! If Bomb is able to be on board with the Tengri family leaders, just goes to show along just how strong his potential is. But I'm surprised that Gustang, you know, he couldn't find Bomb. I mean, yes, Bomb was, you know, like, kept on the records from the second floor and so forth. But I mean, even the Tengri family leaders, their information network has gotta be a little bit stronger than what they appear to be. That's just my opinion, honestly. I just hope their information network just gets a little bit better in terms of where they can actually go. Because I mean, for Pete's sakes, Bugs, even in information network, is able to infiltrate everywhere. So how come the Tengri family leaders can't? Unless they're just like, whatever. We're too busy protecting our name itself, so we don't even follow trivial stuff. Maybe it's more along the lines of that, but still, very interesting, guys. They now confirmed that. But there's one last topic that I do want to mention, guys, that was happening in this chapter, folks. Like I said, this chapter was very quick paced. A lot of dialogue involved. Most of the chapter was kind of consumed by, like I said, Hoaqin and Gustang, just basically just having their little chit chat. But the last couple panels that were shown was Rack. Rack is finally alive, folks. I'm wondering, whoa, is this Rack or is this another species of Rack? That's what I'm kind of wondering. Is this the same persona, or did Rack lost his memories? But he did say at the end of the chapter, "Oh, I'm looking out for my prey," which goes on to say, like, is he? And also, it would look like he was looking into like some kind of space distorted, like void of some sorts. So maybe that's the same one that would have Manzano, or maybe Hong actually. Maybe Hong actually did save Rock himself, and that's why he's able to stare into the distance. Or maybe like Rock was actually saved by Gustang himself, or the Poe family in general, and that's why. Or maybe Fug. No, man, not really Fug. I don't really think Fug would really. No, the only reason I would think Fug would save Rock is if it benefited them instead of benefiting Rock. By benefiting Fug would be like holding him hostage. It doesn't seem like Rock is held hostage from the point of view that they were showing. So no, it probably might be somebody like a third party, like I said, like Gustang's family. Maybe they really did save Rock himself, or maybe Rock actually he landed in one of these space distortion portals, and he actually landed on a different floor, and from there, Rock actually was able to, bide his time and get stronger, train into better using a Shinzo. There's a lot of theories, with what Rock's going on, but the thing is that I'm curious as to does Rock have his own memories still? He could have gotten greatly injured, guys. You gotta remember, they could play that card as, like, oh yeah, Rock lost his memories, now we gotta go on a journey to save Rock himself. But hoping to see how Rock is gonna fare off in the next couple chapters, because like I said, it's been a while since Rock has been introduced again. And I'm not gonna lie to you guys, without Rock, the story's comedy effect doesn't really like stay that very long, because Rock has always been the very positive emotional support that gives us viewers more of a laugh than a thrill. And it's funny too, because I wish they would kind of give Rock more of like screen time, because Rock is a very powerful Shinzo user as well. I think he was a spear bearer, if I remember correctly, back in the day. And we never really get to see the full extent of his abilities. Every time he fights somebody, it's always like off screen, or he just got taken down, or they just defeat the enemy, but we never really get to see him with a full-on fight. That's what I kind of want to hope to see. Maybe they might show something, maybe the future chapters with Rock himself. But that's for maybe the chapter, guys. But let me know down in the comments, guys, to what are you guys' thoughts on the latest chapter 338 on season 2 of Tower of God. What are you guys' thoughts on Rock coming back? Do you guys think that Rock has his memories, or do you guys think that Rock himself was actually saved by Gustang's family? And also, what do you guys think of Bomb now actually talking to Gustang? Even though they really didn't have that much conversation, but I'm wondering if Gustang is going to be talking to Bomb in a sense of talking about Art and Grace. Maybe they might talk about that, or maybe they won't. Maybe just Gustang will they'll have a friendly tradition saying like, oh, you know what, the 10-year family leaders will be looking for you, and we now want you dead, or etc., or they want to change him to their side. Like I said, a lot of things happen with Bomb and Gustang, so let me know down in the comments what you guys thought the dialogue might be happening between Gustang and Bomb. But like I said, that's it for today's 7, folks, and as always, guys, if you guys enjoy my content, don't forget to give a like, comment, share, and subscribe for more Tower of God chapter discussions. And as always, guys, I'll see you guys again in the next video, but peace out, folks.